30 years ago, a love story broke the rules, melted hearts, and became a legend. A powerful man, a woman with a spark no one could ignore. They came from two different worlds but created a fairy tale of their own. Now, after decades of silence, destiny brings them back to where it all began. The screen fades from black. Slow, haunting piano keys echo, like a memory pulling you backward in time. We see the blurred silhouette of a city skyline at night, glowing with neon signs, car headlights gliding past, and shadows of people moving through the streets. The world looks familiar, but it feels distant, like a dream half remembered. The narrator's voice enters, deep, calm, and full of weight. Once upon a time, a story changed the way we saw love. It wasn't a perfect story, but it was real. It was raw, and it became unforgettable. On screen, fragments of the past appear, not faces, but symbols. A red dress blowing gently against the light of a hotel room. A black limousine door closing. The reflection of high heels on a wet sidewalk. A jewelry box snapping shut, not with sound, but with the shock of memory. Each image fades in and out quickly, almost like heartbeat flashes. The music builds. Soft violins now weaving into the piano. Text appears in bold white letters against the darkness. Pretty Woman, 1990. A love story that captured the world. We shift. The screen fills with the pulse of modern-day Los Angeles. Skyscrapers stretch into the sky, brighter and taller than ever. Luxury cars glide across palm-lined streets. A new energy hums beneath the city, sleek and modern. A place that has changed, but not forgotten its past, the narrator whispers. 30 years later, love returns. Suddenly, the music swells, stronger and faster. The camera drifts through a grand hotel lobby, chandeliers glowing, polished floors reflecting elegance, guests in designer gowns. But the camera never reveals faces. We see a man's hand adjusting a silver cufflink. A woman's silhouette, her hair falling gracefully, her heels clicking across marble. The screen cuts to black again. The words fill the screen slowly, each line appearing as the music rises. Julia Roberts. Richard Gere, Together Again. The trailer slows its pace, softening, inviting the audience to lean closer. We hear the faint sound of a woman's laughter, warm, alive, unmistakable. Then, silence. The narrator concludes this section with a hushed but powerful promise. This isn't the end of their story. This is the beginning of another chapter. The screen cuts to black. A single word appears in glowing gold letters. Soon. Asterisk, the screen awakens again, but this time it isn't a memory. It's the world now alive, sharper, faster. A jet glides smoothly above the clouds. The roar of its engines fades into the hum of a city alive with movement. Skyscrapers pierce the horizon, their glass walls catching the golden sun of late afternoon. Cars stream along polished highways, neon signs glow against the night. And the city feels like a stage waiting for its players. The music is steadier now, an elegant mix of strings and soft percussion. A heartbeat rhythm that suggests both hope and unease. The narrator speaks with clarity and warmth. The world has changed. Time has tested every dream. But some stories, they never let go. The screen glides into the luxurious interior of a boardroom. High-backed leather chairs. A gleaming table that stretches endlessly. We see only the back of a man, gray hair brushed neatly, posture strong yet heavy with years. His hand rests on a polished pen, his cufflink flashing in the light. Without showing his face, the camera tells us this is Edward. Still powerful, still commanding, but no longer untouched by time. His voice is heard faintly measured. Tired but resolute. It's been a long time since I believed in anything outside of business. The shot cuts. A boutique store window reflects the colors of the evening. Inside, mannequins wear dresses shimmering under soft light. The camera slides past them, then stops at a figure adjusting a piece of fabric. Hands lift a scarlet gown onto a hanger. A woman's shadow stretches long across the floor. This is Vivian. Still graceful, still vibrant. A woman who learned to build herself, to create beauty from her own strength. A soft laugh echoes. Vivian's voice is gentle, seasoned with both joy and struggle. Fairy tales aren't real, but sometimes memories are. The music rises, cellos and violins building a sense of return, of lives colliding once again. We see glimpses of their separate worlds. Edward at a charity gala, standing in the glow of chandeliers, shaking hands with people who smile too much. Vivian teaching a younger designer in a studio, her hands guiding fabric with the ease of an artist. Edward staring at an old newspaper clipping tucked inside a leather folder. Vivian holding a necklace for a brief moment before placing it back into its case. As though the weight of it is too much, the narrator's voice lowers. Rich and deliberate, for 3 decades they lived in different worlds. He built an empire of deals. She created a world of style. Yet neither could forget the one thing that made them whole: each other. The screen goes dark again for a beat. Then a limousine door opens. A woman steps out, her heels clicking against the pavement. The shot cuts. Across the street, a man emerges from a black car, adjusting his tie. They don't see each other yet. The camera holds the tension, the music softens into a piano melody. Almost fragile, the narrator whispers, but fate never forgets, and love, it always finds its way home. On screen, text fades in slowly, glowing like embers. Pretty Woman 2, a new beginning. The sound of a heartbeat echoes once loud, heavy. The screen cuts to black. Asterisk, the music quickens, no longer soft and nostalgic, but sharper, pulsing, urgent. A drumbeat kicks in beneath soaring strings, signaling that the fairy tale is not simple this time. The city lights blur as the camera moves swiftly through crowded streets. Elegant parties and private corners where secrets are born. The narrator's voice deepens. Love may return, but life never forgets its complications. The screen opens on Edward standing before a crowd in a high-stakes business event. Champagne glasses clink, reporters take photos, and polished words spill from his mouth. But then his gaze shifts. Across the room, he sees her, Vivian. She isn't in the spotlight, but she steals it anyway. She's laughing with someone, radiant yet reserved, as though she belongs and doesn't at the same time. His hand tightens around his glass dock cut. A quick glimpse of Vivian in her fashion studio. She's surrounded by sketches pinned to the wall, dresses on mannequins glowing under spotlights. Yet her face is tense, her movements hurried. A younger designer asks, "Are you sure about this collection?" Vivian hesitates just for a breath before answering, "I have to be." Her words sound certain, but her eyes tell another story. The music surges louder. Images flash rapidly, Edward slamming a folder shut in his office. Vivian walking alone through a crowded street, lights reflecting in her eyes. A hand tearing through a contract. A phone ringing unanswered in the dead of night. The narrator, old wounds resurface. New rivals rise, and the cost of love is higher than ever. The screen cuts to a rival in scene except for details. A man's polished shoes striding across a marble floor. A woman's voice whispering behind closed doors. A competitor's hand signing a deal meant to destroy Edward's empire. The tension thickens, then intimate moment. Vivian and Edward finally face one another. The camera circles them slowly, never showing their full faces. Only fragments, his jawline tense, her lips trembling. Their hands twitching as if wanting to reach but stopping short. Vivian's voice, breaking slightly. "We're not the same people anymore, Edward. The world doesn't wait for second chances." Edward, his voice low, nearly a growl. "Then maybe we make the world wait." The music explodes, violins racing, drums pounding, tension unrelenting. We see them caught in the whirlwind. Vivian stepping onto a fashion runway, lights blinding, her collection at stake. Edward standing in front of a board of directors, voices raised against him. Vivian pulling away from Edward's hand in anger. Edward looking at her through a rain-streaked car window, his face unreadable. The narrator whispers again, slower this time, cutting through the chaos. But love is never easy. It is fought for, tested, torn apart, and rebuilt stronger than before. The screen slows down, the chaos fading into silence. A single shot. Vivian sitting at her studio desk, staring at a photo just two shadows on a beach, captured years ago. She places it face down, then dash Edward in his penthouse, staring out at the city lights, whispering almost to himself, 30 years. And I still can't let you go? The silence holds heavy with unspoken truth. Suddenly the music bursts back in louder, more dramatic. A storm of moments hits the screen. Tears. Laughter, slammed doors, embraces that almost happen. And the ever-present glow of loss. Angelus wrapping it all in temptation and memory. The narrator's voice sharpens like a promise. This is not just a reunion. This is a reckoning. The screen goes black. Words appear, bold and striking. Pretty woman too. Love gets tested. The faint sound of a heart breaking into a heartbeat echoes as the section closes. The music begins in near silence, only the sound of a single piano key, slow and deliberate like the ticking of time running out. The screen fades in on rain sliding down a glass window. Behind it, a blurred figure watches, still almost defeated. Then, a sudden rush of strings sweeps across the silence, pulling the audience into the storm of emotions about to unfold. The narrator's voice is steady, tinged with urgency. Every love story faces its breaking point. Every fairy tale, its final test. The montage begins, fast, fierce, a collision of images that build toward something unstoppable. Vivian, standing alone at the edge of a fashion runway. Cameras flashing, her design about to define her career. Edward striding through a courtroom-like boardroom, men and women shouting, contracts flying, the empire he built collapsing beneath the weight of betrayal. Vivian running down a crowded street, her red dress glowing like fire in a sea of gray suits. Edward gripping the wheel of a car, his knuckles white. His eyes filled with a decision he can no longer avoid. The music thunders now, drums beating like war. Violins racing toward an edge, then dash silence. We see Vivian and Edward face to face finally. The world around them blurs into nothing. The shot holds only their silhouettes, her hair brushing in the wind, his posture worn but unyielding. For a heartbeat, they are young again, two souls bound by something larger than time. Vivian whispers, voice trembling, why now, Edward? After all these years, why come back? Edward leans closer, his voice rough but honest, because I never really left. The music explodes back in, but this time it isn't chaos, it's soaring, triumphant, alive. The screen floods with fire and light, scenes cascading in rapid succession. Vivian stepping onto a glowing stage, her collection stealing the world's breath. Edward walking away from the table of men who doubted him, a faint smile breaking across his face. Their hands finally reaching, hesitant at first, then clasping tight, unshakable. A kiss almost happening, interrupted by the rush of the crowd. The noise of life, but the spark undeniable. The narrator's voice rises, matching the swell of the music. Some stories never end. They only wait for the courage to be written again. The final montage spins faster, bigger, cinematic. The city at night. Fireworks in the distance. The hum of limousines. The glow of fashion lights, the roar of applause, the quiet tears sliding down Vivian's cheek, the defiance in Edward's eyes. Every moment burns with passion and promise. Then the screen slams to black. Silence. The words appear, bold and golden against the void. Pretty woman too, another beat. Then a tagline fades in beneath it, glowing softly. After 30 years, the fairy tale continues. The music swells one last time, grand. Sweeping, unforgettable, the narrator delivers the final line. Steady and clear, as though speaking directly to the audience. This time, love isn't just a chance. It's destiny. The screen fades out completely, leaving only a soft heartbeat echo until even that disappears.